Straight males of Reddit, what's the gayest thing you've ever done?
I was in the army. In combat arms. I think it's safe to say that the military is full of the gayest straight people you'll ever meet. I had 2 fellow soldiers jump into the same shower stall, naked as the day they were born, and wash each other's backs just to fuck with our commander when he walked in.
Open desert field, 2 a.m., 28 degrees Fahrenheit, wrapped under a warm layer, 3 guys nuts to butts, wrapped arms all over. Do you have a fucking boner right now, bro? Yeah, my bad. Just don't fucking move, please. Edit. Temps went from high 70s when we started and fluctuated to high 20s and low 30s throughout the nights. Add the non-stop exertion throughout the days and portions of nights, we were very salty sacks cuddling for heat. And I cannot stress how the level of intimacy I've experienced throughout my time was only topped by my wife.
Went on a cruise with my best bro I hadn't seen in a year after I moved a few states away. The boat docks in Cozumel, and we both walk off the boat shirtless. No plan, but I eventually suggest renting mopeds. We get to the rental place, and he asks, "Can I just ride on the back of yours?" Me, okay. That's how we spend our afternoon, 2 shirtless guys cruising around on a moped and he's got his arms around my waist. What's great is that someone from the cruise had taken our picture on the moped, and when he got married, his brother's best man speech was actually a PowerPoint presentation that incorporated that picture. His brother said something like, "Some of you may not know this, but X hasn't always dated women." Me and the boys once took turns taking a 10-minute ice bath at a hotel, then measuring who had the smallest peen by the end of their ice bath. The smallest person won.
I was at a gay bar with some gay friends and this young guy wearing a friggin' suit walked up and asked me for a dance. I told him I wasn't gay and he said, "I just came out and I want my first dance to be with someone beautiful." I did a slow dance with the dude and went on my way. Dude deserved it for that A+ line.
I once watched 300. Seriously though. I once held hands with a gay male friend at a party because he was ridiculously handsome and he wanted to discourage a stalker girl who wouldn't take no for an answer.
This isn't my story, but I saved it from a similar thread ages ago because it made me laugh. Thanks again, you based intellect. When I was 8 years old, my dad bought me the original PlayStation. I was so excited, that I rode my bike to my friend's house and ran up the stairs to his room to tell him to come play it with me. As soon as I told him, he grabbed my face and gave me a big smooch on the lips. Homie was totally heterosexual but could not contain his love and excitement for new video games. Probably the weirdest moment of my life. We played Crash Bandicoot and never spoke of it again.
I worked security at a gay bar, and while selling Jell-O shots at the door during a holiday party, I let a big bear man kiss me on the cheek because he asked nicely, after I gave him a free Jell-O shot for buying like 10 of them. Edit. Since this blew up. It was 2009, well before the pandemic. I spent this past New Year's Eve sitting on the couch with my wife, drinking cheap champagne and falling asleep before enjoying any of the snacks we had prepared, like the parents we are.
Naked 4 a.m. drunk bench press session in the back garden of a mate's house, with 2 other mates. We were drunk, there was a bench. Inevitably, benching happens. I can't remember who thought first, this would be funnier if I was naked. Probably me.
I once owned a Mustang with a V6 instead of the V8.
Pretended to be my friend's boyfriend to prevent him from being hit on from this guy he didn't want to hit on him. We put our arms around each other and I kissed him on the temple lol. Gay or straight? No means no, and I'll do this 1,000 times more if I have to.
Joined the Marine Corps. If I drew up a line chart of my life with X equals age and Y equals number of IRL dicks seen, there is an exponential spike well into the hundreds on my first day of boot camp.
When I was a teenager, me and my 5 friends were alone in the dorms while everyone else went on break. My 4 friends decided that it would be fun to have a masturbation contest to see who can come the fastest. I said hell nah, and became the officiator. They all went to separate corners of the room and readied the porn in their phones. When I shout, "Go!" they start jerking off simultaneously and the losers have to pay the winner's dinner.
I have a real answer. When I was 10 or 11 I was in a jerk circle with like 2 other guys and we all had our hands on each other's cocks. Definitely regret it and it's still my biggest secret to date. Went to a Disney-themed birthday party with 2 gay friends as a trio of genderbent villains. Was fun. Had a crush on a guy back in high school or so. I thought turned out the guy was a girl hiding in a hoodie with a buzz cut. I was seriously questioning my sexuality until I found out. Edited. Wow, this seems to have really resonated with a lot of people. So here is how the story ends. We started dating. It was an incredible time. While we didn't last, we kept in contact and we are both happy in our relationships and the time we had. I will treasure them as I cringe at them.
I let an old man look into, and then finger, my butthole just so I could join the military. I felt so used. For the next 8 years.
I had my best friend suck my dick when I was drunk once. Knew I was straight about 2 seconds in.
I kissed a dude because I thought I was gay.
I had sex with a guy. Turns out I'm only into anal when it's with a chick. Made out with guys due to spin the bottle. Balanced out by also making out with girls in the same games. One of the dudes was a much better kisser than the other participants.
I was at a bar with my FWB, now wife. Outside smoking a cigarette when a guy comes up and starts flirting with me. I let him know that I'm flattered but straight. Then he says something like how that's too bad because I've got the most kissable looking lips. So I humor him and say well, one kiss won't hurt, and lean in and we share a quick kiss. He goes that was nice, can I have some more? Guess I was feeling spunky because I then proceeded to make out with him for a good minute while he squeezed my butt. He said thank you and we parted ways. Made out with a close friend when he came out to me as gay. He wasn't really sure how I would respond when he told me he thought I was attractive. I didn't know how I was gonna respond either. He decided to just go for it and kiss me. Honestly, best make-out session I had. Every girl I made out lacked the passion he did. Never made out with him again.
It's not my doing, but there was this one time when I was in college, I got quite drunk after a party. My roommate, whom I think is a bisexual, sucked my dick for like 4 to 5 seconds. Well, he was not drunk and he stopped because I didn't approve of that. We both implicitly agreed that was an accident, without any awkwardness. We never speak of that again and are still good friends. Of course I didn't know he was a bisexual before the incident.
I giggled like a schoolgirl when a gay guy complimented me in New York in 2014. It wasn't the fact that I was flattered by the compliment, I was very flattered, but the fact that I uttered the most effeminate laugh I've ever had, or heard, from said compliment. I was in New York very often that summer after breaking up with a terrible, emotionally abusive girlfriend, and I got hit on by several gay dudes there. A big thanks to the LGBTQ community for helping me feel good about myself again that year. Edit. I didn't expect this to be received so well. Thanks so much. Edit 2. And yes, aside from hating and fearing a bunch of the obvious things going on in our world, I'm a very happy, and happily married, person, now.
I grew up in a small, very religious town in the deep south. We had a small mall and on Sundays it was common for little old ladies to meet up there for lunch after church. In high school, me and a buddy occasionally went to the mall on Sundays and faked breaking up near groups of these little old ladies. We'd make it as ridiculous as possible while still being believable. My friend was able to cry on command, so the real tears added a little believability. To add icing on the cringe cake, he was black and I'm white, so it made it just a little more awkward for all the old-fashioned people my town is so well known for.
Kissed a dude. Edit. Actually 2 dudes.
Went with 3 gay friends to a dive gay bar with gay porn videos playing on screens, a nude live dancer, that kind of bar. Had a fucking blast. Got drunk, got hit on, flattered, danced as if I wasn't straight. Fun as shit. But my gay friends who I went with were horrified about how skeevy the place was. They told me, "You can never tell anyone we came here. Never. .. Question mark. Like, I was the straight one, but I was cool with it. What's up with that? Great time, though. Edit. One thing I love about this post is that a lot of people are replying, is that you, George? Vito, is that you? So I guess this happens a lot. Smiley face.
Technically, got in a hot tub naked with 3 gay guys and we talked about relationships. But really, remove the gay element and it was just 4 dudes talking about life. No biggie. You should tell your dad about this. Was the big laugh line.
I Frenched a guy in a very drunken game of truth or dare. I have to say the big difference was the feel of stubble, and the more aggressive tongue action. My straight friends once told me straight that they would have banged me if I was a girl.
I sucked a dick to get a ride to a concert. Just kidding. I didn't need a ride.
Buddy and I held hands, linked fingers style, and skipped down the road.
Well, I've kissed a couple of dudes. I do this thing at parties, where I'll go out to the smokers and yell, "I'll kiss anyone who gives me a cigarette," works almost every time.
A friend was struggling with his newly discovered unrequited gay feelings clashing with his societal conditioning. He was doing more and more self-destructive things, crashing cars, stealing into houses at night. I sat with him for 3 hours, literally holding his hand and talking though and sorting out his feelings and supporting him. He managed to reconcile things in his head, and found a boyfriend 2 weeks later.
British military, mid-90s. Imagine 5 drunk hairy-assed sailors dressed as Spice Girls with huge balloon boobs, pub crawling around a quaint little English village. No underwear under the mini-skirts and offering a free look at the goods for anyone stupid enough to look at them. Too long did not read. Sailors, beer, I was Scary Spice.
Fucked a guy.
I gave my homie a birthday blowjob like always, but last time I did it he didn't say no homo. As a gay man, I'm just gonna say, some of you straight men are just fascinating creatures.
I had a dude suck whipped cream off the tip of my penis.
Hugs, cuddling, pulling friends to me. By their belt loops. A bit coworker of mine has asked me if I'm into him. Nah. Just not shy about affection. This same human, I have kissed his forehead and told him that I love him. Exact words were, "Love ya, buddy." Penis doesn't interest me, but it hurts to not be affectionate.
Used to be a game where you'd put your hand on another guy's knee and slowly move it toward their groin until one of you chickened out. I never lost.
Double penetration, using the same orifice as the other guy at the same time. I was at a dorm party and we were all drunk. One of our friends is the annoying loud drunk and happens to be gay. He was complaining how it's been ages since he kissed a dude. Bro, I just wanted a chill mood so I could eat my pizza rolls and he was killing the vibe. So I grabbed his head, made out with him hardcore for a bit, and threw him on the ground. He just laughed and said, "Wow," every now and again. Fit the vibe I was going for way better, so no regrets.
The obligatory not me, but I was in the military, and on my first deployment there was a guy who was choking the chicken in front of a whole squad bay of men, and on a bet from a senior NCO sprayed his clue goo all over his belly. So then another guy was also bet from this senior NCO to eat said clue goo on the promise of no more watch for the rest of deployment. Needless to say he didn't have watch for the rest of the deployment.
Sucked a dick.
Worked at a gay bar for years. People were friendly, tips were really good, and honestly the guys kept setting me up with their female friends. 10 out of 10 would do again.
After reading all of these comments I'm thinking that maybe we're all kind of just gay.
So I was fucking my girlfriend in the hotel bathroom and wouldn't you know it, the faucet bumped my asshole while I was pounding into her. I'd be damned if I said that didn't turn me on harder than ever before. So here I was trying to keep railing my girlfriend, while simultaneously trying to fuck myself using the bathtub faucet. I didn't know my hips could move that way until that day. You see, I'm in this almost seated squat trying to hump vertically and horizontally at the same time with these big exaggerated movements going backwards, with my asshole absolutely puckered for the faucet. Never even got the knob on top, and though also a miracle neither of us slipped and died.
Handshake for 30 seconds maybe.